So President Trump, in a lengthy appearance from the Oval Office this afternoon, basically said there are two options for Tehran. A deal, which he says he's giving them one last chance to come to the table on, or total surrender after he called off this bombing campaign that may have lasted a couple of weeks if it was brought in its full force. Here's the president just a short time ago.
He was going to come last night, and it would have gone on for a long time, and there'd be essentially very little left. There'd be nothing left. And if I'm given a chance to let a lot of people live, I want to give that chance. So I'm under no time constraint.
So let's look at this from a military perspective. We bring in retired four-star General Joseph Votel, former CENTCOM commander, which is the leadership in this whole region, now Middle East Institute Distinguished Senior Fellow. General, always good to have you with us. Thank you very much for joining me today. This is the reaction from General Jack Keane earlier today on our air when he was asked about this Saudi influence that has happened a few times during the course of the last 6 months about a pullback from military action that looked imminent. Watch.
The fact of the matter is the Saudis are not willing to sacrifice to rid the Middle East region of Iran's aggression. That is the absolute fact that we're seeing playing out here. What do I mean by sacrifice? Casualties and the damage to some of their oil reserves. That's the reality that's taking place here. They're willing for us to make that sacrifice for sure.
Do you agree with that, General?
Well, certainly. First of all, it's great to be with you, Martha. Certainly there's been a significant impact on all of the Gulf partners over the last 6 months of this war, and at the top of the list has been the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I mean, they've had a significant, retraction of their revenues from oil, around 25% or so, which is significantly impacting them. So they are making decisions in their own interests right now. Whether those are good decisions or not, time will tell down the line. But they are certainly making decisions that are in their own interests right now.
I mean, we could dig in on that, but I want to ask you about Brad Cooper, the current CENTCOM commander, because we understand, according to reporting, that CENTCOM was basically asked for some new creative plans to basically make Iran capitulate in this situation. And this is a story from the Wall Street Journal, and you see the reporters along the bottom here. It says, Cooper has long labored with a bureaucratic disadvantage. He lacks the easy access that Kane has to the Oval Office. The vast majority of Trump's updates on the war have been delivered by Kane and Hegseth. Cooper has briefed the president in person only a handful of times since the war began. And the suggestion here is that that Cooper believes that military force could deliver a devastating body blow if he's given the leeway to go ahead and do it. What's your reaction to that?
Well, as a former combatant commander, I mean, we relied on the Secretary of Defense and the chairman to exercise their responsibilities and carry the best military advice and to the President of the United States. They interact with him or her on a regular basis, and so that's their job. That's what they do. And then on occasion, I had the opportunity to talk directly to the President, and I'm sure Admiral Cooper has as well. I mean, again, a lot of this is from the perspective from which people are operating. Admiral Cooper is looking at a military problem that he has in the region right now. He has resources at his disposal, and he wants to use those, I think, to bring those to a conclusion.
Yeah, that's his job, as you say, to come up with military solutions, to present them to the president, and to see where it goes. But he's largely seen as someone who has just a very unique perspective and handle on the region, as you did as well in that role, a lot of wisdom and expertise on what can and could be done. General Votel, thank you very much. Always good to see you, sir. We'll see you next time.
Good to be with you.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.